Well, I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you. Thank you for taking your valuable time. Time is the one component that each one of us have that can never be recycled. Time is something that is precious and it's finite. It's something that if you use it in the right way, it will really take you and help you progress and put you in great places. If you waste it, you'll never get it back. You can always recycle money. You can always find new money. You can always go and replace things. You can always go and read different books and so forth, but you'll never get the time back. So I personally have a few objects that help me remember this important principle. One of them is a grandfather clock in our home. And each week I have to wind the clock and I have to care for the clock and make sure it's adjusted to keep good time, okay? Also have a couple of watches. I bought this really expensive Rolex watch a few years ago, well, about 10 years ago. It was more of a status symbol, right? And I'm wearing it, and next thing you know, a month goes by and it's like 2 or 3 minutes off. And so I adjust it. And another month or so goes by and it's 2 or 3 minutes off. And so I adjust it. And needless to say, I'm wearing a really cheap diesel watch that I bought for less than $100 because, you know, keeping correct time is important. I guess that Rolexes are more about jewelry than time. Why are we here? I guess that this is studies about being an entrepreneur, okay? So let's ask ourselves, what is an entrepreneur? Anyone? I could do my deep research for you. You want me to do that? It's called dictionary.com, right? According to dictionary.com, the first, and see, you know, without my glasses, says a person who organizes and manages any enterprise, especially a business, usually with considerable initiative or risk, okay? So entrepreneurs are what? We're crazy risk takers, okay? We're people that will kind of hang our bacon out there in order to get something back. We don't take risk just for the fun of it. We take risk in order to leverage and get something back, right? It says here, the second one is an employer of productive labor or a contractor. Well, that's me. I'm a contractor. Do environmental cleanup. There's a third one that says to deal with or initiate as an entrepreneur, and the fourth one says to act as an entrepreneur. But essentially, entrepreneurs are people that leverage their risk in order to create a return, okay? All right, how many different styles of businesses are there out there? There's hundreds, right? And what do we each end up doing? We leverage our skills, our talents, our knowledge to provide a product or a service, okay? In my case, I do environmental cleanup, okay? We do dirty, filthy, nasty work. And I kind of fell into the business. I told the class prior about the story, and it's not really glamorous, but I was down in Provo. I had just got married, and I was completely flat broke, and I was driving this crapper mobile truck, and it broke down. And I didn't have any money, and so I needed to find a job that was close to home so I could ride my bike back and forth, and that happened to be as an asbestos worker at this apartment complex that was going to be renovated. And so I rode my bike back and forth all summer long so I could earn enough money and fix the master cylinder in my truck. Well, needless to say, in the abatement world, it wasn't very difficult to be the sharpest tool in the shed, so to speak. You know, and I quickly rose to, to get some recognition, and it was pretty easy to be a little sharper and faster than most of the guys there. Next thing you know, they're giving me other opportunities. I'm off running a project in New York, and then come back and I'm running a different company for another company, and it just keeps building and growing. And after a few years, I decided, gosh, I'm pretty sure I can do this better than they're doing it. So in 2003, I started Eagle Environmental. Okay, why are you guys here? Anyone? Why are you here? Tell me. Because it's an assigned class? Maybe? Her. You heard it was a good class to take. That's right. Okay, entrepreneurs are really kind of cool because you know what we do is we create all of the wealth in the society. Did you guys realize that? It's a new idea, it's a new concept, it's a new process that creates wealth and creates a future. Did Steve Jobs invent the computer? Absolutely not. But what did he do? He made the computer sexy and usable, didn't he? I mean, people that love apples are just, I mean, they're freaks, right? I mean, I love Apple. I love their product. Their product is beautiful, and it's very user-friendly, and they're very attractive devices. I mean, we're all carrying our iPhones and iPads and so forth around with us. And he was an innovator that created a process and an interface and a system that made the computer usable for the average person. Okay? He didn't invent the computer, he made it easy. Okay? Go to another industry, all right? Think of, well, you know, in contrast, Microsoft. Okay? Bill Gates, he leveraged his talents and his knowledge, and between Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they pretty much revolutionized the world, didn't they? I mean, the vision was to put a computer on every desk, and the scary thing is we have more than one now, don't we? I mean, most of us own one or two computers because technically our smartphones are just that. Okay, so in my outline I had here, I do some strength training with my organization, and I want to ask a couple of questions for you. As the business owner or as the entrepreneur, what's the most effective use of your time every day? Any ideas? Come on, let's make this a little bit more interactive. Making money. Well, that's the end of the goal, right? At the end of the day, that's what you want to do is you want to make money. Okay? Huh? Set a goal, all right? Setting goals, setting markers. Anyone else? Huh? New ideas, innovation, processes, okay? Anyone else? Okay, making the most useful use of your time, those are all great things. A combination of all of them. See, she makes fried rice, right? Throws it all in there, mixes it up, and it's tasty, huh? Making new friends, making bridges, forging connections, making a difference in the world. I love every single one of those answers, and thank you very much for the last one, because I personally feel like entrepreneurs do that. We make a difference in the world by changing a process or a system or an approach to a given organization. Now, I didn't invent the abatement industry, okay? I've been in the abatement industry, and I've kind of revolutionized the industry in my area through processes and approaches and systems and so forth. But what is the most important thing that we can do as business owners is to set the vision, chart the course, and direct our people, and make sure that they understand what they're supposed to be doing every day. What's the first thing that we should do with our employees? Is focus them. Do they know what's expected? What's the second thing that we should always be doing with them? Equip them. Make sure that they have the training, the talent, the knowledge, the skills available to them to be successful. Okay? Those are the emotional messages that we want to be doing. We want to, first of all, focus, then equip. Then we really got to know our employees. Who are they? What are their capabilities? What are their knowledge? What's their skill? What are their emotional mindsets, and how might we best leverage that emotional capital to get to the end goals of the corporation? Can we align our employees' talents, skills, and knowledge to the corporation's goals? Can we do that? How do we do that? The only way that we really can do that is by, first of all, knowing who and what our employees are and what their abilities are. Okay? Now, here's the next question. If you know who your employees are and what they're good at, then you know who they are, right? So here's the next piece is how do you find out what they're great at? Anyone know? Freedom? Okay. Okay. Can I tell you a funny story? Okay. So one day, okay, we use a lot of duct tape in my business, as you might imagine. Hundreds and thousands of rolls. And we have different colors of duct tape, blue and silver primarily being the most of it. And I don't know, our corporate logo is 3 squares or diamonds, blue, silver, and then a giant eagle flying down in the center of it. Well, I show up on this job site and they, have wrapped the room in plastic, built this beautiful containment, and on the wall right over here is the most wonderful rendition of the Eagle Environmental logo I've ever seen done in duct tape. And it's 6 feet by 8 feet. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, right? And I'm like thinking, wow, and I paid somebody to do that. That's awesome, right? And there's a guy that's named Herson, and I'm like, Herson, boy, that's pretty nice logo. And he's like, well, yeah, boss, it's really good looking. And look, did you see how I did the little eagle feathers with the little white tape and everything? Yeah, see how you really did that there. How long did that take you? I don't really want to know how long that took you, We really can't turn our employees loose and just let them figure it out as they go. So what we really need to be doing is in that process, let's figure out what they're best at by giving them different tasks. Change up the tasks, okay? In our business, it is mostly manual labor, but you can always change people in different roles and give them different opportunities and then chart their performance, right? And what do we need to constantly be doing is giving them verbal feedback. How are they doing? You don't necessarily want to tell them exactly how to do it. You want to tell them what it needs to look like when it's done. And let them figure it out, and maybe they're going to teach you something. Okay? So one time I'm working on this project, and we've been working on it for about 3-4 months, and we've all been in there just working really, really hard, and there's been this one little problem that we experienced that's just bedeviled us. It's been horrible. We hire this brand new guy, and somebody just sends him in to go do it, and all of a sudden we walk in there, and he's just totally doing it a totally different way. And this problem that was taking us about an hour to do on each room, he's doing it in like 2 minutes. Because he's just figured out how to pop this thing off and twist it and clean it down here and put it back up to where we were trying to clean it in place, and we're like, oh, are you kidding me? That's so simple, it's so easy. Why didn't we see that? Okay? Learn from the employees, Learn from other people. Be willing to sit down with everybody and just say, how would you do this? Get feedback back and forth constantly, right? Keep going back here to my notes. I promise I'm not checking email. Okay? Now, here's the next question. What is the area of your greatest, or your potential for your greatest growth? Where is it? Some of you guys that were in the last class, you can go ahead and, yep, with your strengths, not with your weaknesses. Anyone agree with that or disagree with that? What do you think? Talk to me. Yeah? A few heads moving up and down. Okay. Our Heavenly Father was really, really smart when He built us and when He sent us down here. And you guys have all read the parable of the talents, and that we're each given specific talents. Right? And then in that parable, we were also told that we should use those talents and leverage them and grow them and build them, and then we would be given new talents. Right? According to the parable, that's what it states. Now, if we choose to ignore those talents and work on our weaknesses, what will happen? The talents that we currently have, what? We'll lose them. We'll lose them. They'll be taken from us. So it really becomes kind of our responsibility and our contract with our Heavenly Father, with our Maker, to come down here and to leverage and use our talents the best that we can every single day. So what we want to do is we want to figure out, okay, what am I good at? Okay? And can you guys think of anything that you're good at? Now, Herson, he was a pretty artistic dude, and he was good at making like duct tape eagles and stuff like that. And we weren't quite able to leverage that and make any money out of it. So he kind of ended up having a different job later on, right? So what we need to do is we need to figure out what our personal strengths are. How do we discover that? Any ideas? Ask, okay? You can ask your professors, what are my talents, right? Tell me, what are my talents? What are my talents, Austin? You don't know? Okay, I know one of his talents is he's a ninja video game player, and we just need to make that pay money, and we'll make a lot of money, right? Okay? Okay, things that you enjoy and you just naturally do well, okay? Can you think of anyone in society or whatever that has an incredible talent? I like to kind of go to somebody that we all pretty much know, and that's Michael Jordan, right? Does anyone not know who Michael Jordan is? Okay, that's a safe one then, right? He was great at playing basketball, wasn't he? You know, he was amazing at playing basketball to the point where he was probably one of the best basketball players to ever play. And it was amazing to watch him play. I remember watching him, watching him shoot free throws with his eyes closed, just to psych out other players because he was so good at it. It was like he was sitting there and Manute Bol was sitting on the sidelines and he goes, hey, watch this. Swish. And Manute Bol's like, holy cow, did you see that? And then he does it a second time, swish. And then he says, welcome to the NBA. You know, he just had this incredible talent of shooting the ball, right? Super talent, all right? How about baseball? Was he good at baseball? Not so much. Not so much. He wasn't even very good because he went and played double-A ball and he hit 2 home runs in the whole time he played double-A ball for 2 years. It's not very good. Okay, when they analyzed his swing, when they analyzed his stance and so forth, he wasn't nearly as good as some of the other players on his double-A ball team. So he went back to the NBA, started playing basketball again, and I really wish he would have stayed in double-A baseball, and then the Jazz would have 2 rings. But we all know that he came and played ball, and they won 2 more rings because of that. Okay. So Michael Jordan is an example of somebody that has pure talent. Now, what did he do to get really, really good? He had the talent. Does that mean he's going to be wildly successful? Yes? No? No. If you don't leverage your talent, you need to leverage your talent also with knowledge, right? And how do you gain knowledge? Books. Knowledge is all books, right? Or Google. Okay, great place to gain knowledge. You can gain technical competence from knowledge. You can learn all the technical aspects about basketball through reading about it. Now, how about experience? There's 3 things. There's the talent, there's knowledge, and then there's experience. And experience is going and doing it, right? How many games do you think that guy played in his career? Thousands? Yeah, I mean thousands of games, and he got to the point where he just loved it. As long as he was within 3 or 4 points and there was 10 seconds left, he could still win that game, you know? And it was because he had that much experience and he was calm and you'd throw him the ball at the very last second and he'd shoot the shot and he'd win the game, right? He's somebody that was able to use talent and he leveraged it with knowledge and experience in order to get a great return. Okay, now we can all sit back and go, man, you know what? That's kind of a bummer that, that the Lord gave him such incredible talent, and here I am. I can't play basketball like that. But the reality is that the Lord blessed each one of you with an incredible gift and talent. But it becomes our personal responsibility to discover what is that gift, what is that talent, and how do we leverage it, okay? The Lord didn't bless certain individuals with incredible talent and let them just rule and reign over everyone. He loves every single one of us, so he blessed every single one of us with incredible talent. Now, will we be diligent? Will we work hard and discover what are our talents? And how can we leverage those talents? And eventually, I mean, the Lord gave us those talents so we could do what? Help others. What else? Build the kingdom, right? Those are great answers. Feed your families. Create opportunity, right? The Lord gave me leadership talent so I could go out and I could do work for my customers. And I can provide a great environment for my employees. I can provide an opportunity for them to learn and grow and build themselves, okay? The people you work with, the people with, when you become a business owner, you're going to see your employees and the people you work with more than your spouse, more than your children. And that's sad. So let's make sure that we do our part and make sure that we leverage their talents and help them be wildly successful, because if they do that and if they're happy, what are they going to do when they go home? They're going to share, aren't they? They're going to help. They're going to use that amazing model, and they're going to say, you know what? There's a kid in my ward. He needs somebody to put his arm around him and help him get it, right? Or they're going to be able to help their kids succeed, right? Okay, we all have a responsibility to leverage our own personal talents. And if we do that as an entrepreneur, what is the net benefit? Huh? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Priceless. The net effect is priceless. It's great. But essentially what's going to happen is if you go out there and you do great things, you know, the net effect in business is money. If you're really being successful and you're really leading correctly and you've got your price points set at the right place and you're giving incredible quality and you're resolving problems and resolving difficulties and so forth, the net effect is a profit. And we need to be able to have a profit to be able to you know, keep our businesses running, right? And that also provides opportunity for our employees and for our vendors and so forth, right? Okay? So now let's move on to the next piece. Now let me ask you guys a question. Now we're talking about our employees, or we're talking about the people around us. Help me understand what makes up the divide, or what's the factor, or what's the difference between the people that are succeeding and doing incredibly well and the people that are just kind of getting by. Ever thought about that? You think that's kind of weird? There's a difference, and what is it? Do you think the Lord just kind of loves these guys a little bit more? And yep, okay, Michael Jordan, I think you're so awesome. Karl Malone, not so much, right? John Stockton, no. We love, is that really what it is? What's the difference?
I think it's a combination of hard work and risk taking.
Okay.
I mean, just because someone has like a lower paying job doesn't mean that they're not a hard worker and that they don't dedicate themselves a lot to their job. It's just a combination of putting the time in to develop your skills and to go out of your way to try to make more of your situation and more of your employment.
Okay. What she basically said was that some people are willing to leverage themselves. They're willing to take risks, right? They're willing to put themselves out there a little bit more, and they're going to work incredibly hard, but they're going to take measured risk along the way in order to gain a higher return, okay? You know, we know that Michael Jordan hung it out there, and obviously he won, right? So let's look at ourselves and just say, how can we do that? How can we do that? How can we really hang ourselves out there mentally, emotionally, and physically in order to gain a greater return? What are you guys doing at school right now? You know, you go to school, you sit down at class. Are you just kind of like going, holy cow, I can't wait till noon, right? Got lunch coming up. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go ride my bike. I'm going to the beach, right? I mean, you can have that mentality. Or else, how many people have been sitting in church kind of like going, holy cow, can't wait till noon, right? But then there are other people that are sitting there and they're taking notes and they're learning and they're trying to grow from the information that's there, okay? It's this piece of personal emotional engagement. You know, will you mentally and emotionally make a choice, a conscious decision to be all in? Will you hang it all out there and choose to really be emotionally invested in whatever it is that you're doing, and then gauge your return from there? Okay? I'm part of an organization. It's called the Entrepreneurs Organization. I'm the incoming president of the Utah chapter. EO is a global organization. We have nearly 8,500 members worldwide. We have 142 chapters in 40 plus countries. Okay, the Utah chapter, there's a chapter here in Oahu, and there's the chapter in Utah. We have 63 members, and we all get together and we all tune each other up, we all push each other and try and help each other get the most out of our business experience and hold each other personally accountable. Will you hold yourselves personally accountable for your actions and for your deeds every single day? Okay? That's what's going to make up the divide between here and here. Now, I find it fascinating, okay? I kind of like to watch Tour de France. Anyone a fan of watching the Tour de France? Lance Armstrong and those guys? I find it fascinating that these guys hop on these bikes, right? And they charge out there and they start racing. And they just, boy, they're just giving it all they got. And they do it all day long. And they'll do 142 miles. And at the end of the day, how much separates the winner and the loser? Tenths of seconds, hundredths of seconds, 1/2 of a bicycle tire after 142 miles. And that's the difference between winning and losing. Someone just powered down a couple more times than someone else. And that was the difference between winning and losing. Okay? I find it fascinating that they can do that for 22 days straight. And this person can win this day, and this person can win that day, and it trades back and forth, and at the very end, there will be fractions of a second that will separate the person that is the high achiever, the person that stands on the podium and puts on the yellow jersey, and the person that puts on, you know, the second place jersey. And what it really is it's that emotional and mental choice. Will I choose to hang it all out there every single day and give it everything that I've got in order to gain a great reward? Now, obviously, you know, I haven't had any personal revelation over this, but I would like to believe that that the Lord really wants us to succeed wildly, and that He asks each one of us, are we going to hang it out there? Are we going to give it everything we have? Are we going to leverage everything that we have to be able to gain a great reward? All of us are given very incredibly difficult circumstances. Life is not fair. There will be 1,000 reasons why you can't do it. There will be 100 reasons that will pop up and be completely unfair. Because I'm the wrong race, or I'm the wrong sex, or I'm a big fat bald man with a beard. And I scare all the people away, whatever it may be, okay? There will be 1,000 reasons why you can't. But there's one reason why you can. I genuinely believe each one of us have greatness inside of us. I genuinely believe that if we give ourselves the opportunity to succeed by pushing our own boundaries a little bit further every day, that we will get the returns that we're looking for. And it will not be easy. Okay? working 60 and 70 hours a week was the norm. It's not healthy. You need to figure out a way to work smart, to work wise, give yourself balance with family, with the spiritual aspect in your life, you know, with the physical aspect of your life, with the emotional aspect of your life. Become whole so that you can be a great leader, both in your family, in your community, in the world, etc. Influence as many people as you possibly can. Now let me ask you a question. There are 4 general, did you guys realize that if you can leverage your talents and your knowledge and so forth, you can create 4 emotional states with your customers that will make them really kind of fall in love with you and your business? But those emotional states are required. I mean, you have to do your part in order to make that happen. Let's talk about the first one. If you want to work with somebody and work with them long term, they must be, number 1, competent, right? They must have technical competence. They must know everything about their business, everything about their industry, everything about what's going on, and that will create consumer confidence, right? Confidence is the number 1 thing that you need from your customer in order to create a long-term working relationship, okay? You can spend a lot of time talking about consumer confidence and how to build that, but ultimately it comes from a relationship of trust that you forge over and over and over again. You do exactly what you say you're going to do. You clarify the expectation, set that expectation in writing, set that expectation very clearly up front. This is what I will do, this is how I will do it, and this is when it will be done, and this is what it will cost. And when I deliver on that, my customer can have confidence in my ability to deliver, okay? What's the next thing? We have to have integrity, okay? We have to be able to deliver consistently on what we say we're going to do and deliver that in writing. And if there are problems, which there always are, let's be real. Life is not just this great, big, easy deal. There's going to be problems. There's going to be challenges. Can I tell you a scary story? This happened the day before yesterday. So my guys were working in the Salt Lake Temple. And my guys are in there working, and they've got to remove some fittings. We get a phone call the next day. We got a little problem. The chandelier for the floor below fell and hit the floor and is broken. Can you please come to a meeting? And we're thinking, well, we were working upstairs. What do we have to do with the chandelier, right? So we show up and we kind of talk and we start discovering more and more about more conditions and so forth, and we find out that we were a contributor to damaging this chandelier. Chandelier's worth 10 grand. Ouch. Yeah, I heard him say ouch. I felt the ouch more than you did. Okay? When my guy sent me the email, I just sent back a 1-word reply, ouch. Okay? So what do? We sit down with the engineer and we say, you know what? It appears as one of our guys, when he was cutting a pipe, cut the pipe, and the pipe must have been hooked to where they were, this safety cable was. And because of the vibration and so forth going on, this chandelier fell, and we'll gladly take care of it. Okay, we're gonna have to scratch a check for 10 grand. The job was worth $2,500. Okay? But we're going to do that because we have integrity, okay? We want our customers to know that if problems arise, we will fix them, irregardless of cost, because we're in it for the long haul. We want to do business with that customer for the next 20 years. I want to do $10 million worth of work with that customer. So $10,000 is about that much, okay? We have to have integrity. Okay, so if you create confidence, create integrity, the next piece is, can you create pride? After you resolve challenges and problems, and after you work with a person that creates those emotional states, generally there's a feeling of pride, like, you know what, I'm working with an organization and a person that stands behind what they say they're going to do. And that means something to me, okay? How many of us buy a product or a service that is probably more expensive than others because of we believe in the product? Okay? We love Macs, don't we, Chelsea? Yep. We bought Chelsea this awesome Mac before she came out to school, and the thing just totally like blew up. What, like 2 weeks ago? The hard drive crashed. Oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? And she hopped on the bus and rode it all the way over to Honolulu, and they put in a new hard drive for her, and there were a few other little snags and stuff like that, but she talked to customer support and stuff, and they were able to reset it and make it work, okay? So there's this sense of pride with that product that we know that it's of great quality, good ease of use, something that we want to continue to use, okay? Your companies need to have the same thing. Okay, you need to be able to create that sense of pride by doing what you say you're going to do when you're going to do it. Okay, being competent and skilled. You know, being that dependable person. We had another project where we're working, and we get a call, and it's like, Fred, we got water leaking down in the kitchen, and we think it's coming from your containment. Boom. I make a couple of phone calls. 5 members of management are there within 20 minutes. We clean up the problem, we fix it, we spend time and energy taking care of it. We discovered that it was a problem with the plumbers, not with us, but we did what it took in order to demonstrate to our client that our client can call us day, night, weekend, whatever, and we'll be there, and we're the greatest player on their team. Okay, we're not the team captain. We can be the catcher, we can be first base, we can be whatever position they need us to be, but that creates pride. They feel, hey, you know what, I'm working with skilled professionals that care and that are passionate and driven to give a quality service, okay? Well, after you create these first 3 levels of, you know, consumer confidence, integrity, pride, what's the last thing that happens? You create a literal passion for your product and for your brand. They literally fall in love with you. I mean, not in a weird way, but they can't imagine a world without your services. If Apple Computer just disappeared tomorrow, I would be bummed. I mean, let's be real. I love their product that much that I have to have a PC at work in order to do certain things, but I really love my Mac stuff, right? And I really have this passion for their product. Well, I want that same passion to be for people with our corporation, with our company. What makes them passionate about Eagle Environmental? We want them to feel like, you know what, this is a company we can trust. It's a company that has a great culture, that takes care of its employees in turn takes care of the customers are happy and satisfied, profits grow, profits are split amongst the employees are even more happy, obviously the owner is pretty happy about that, right? And it's just this synergistic effect that just keeps snowballing. Okay, so if I teach you one thing, remember the 4 states of the customer, right? 4 emotional states of the customer. You always have to leverage the cognitive and emotional capital that your employees have in order to gain your corporate ends, right? Your goals. And maintaining those 4 emotional states of the customer are very important. We teach this stuff every single week in our company to all of our managers to help make them intelligent, skilled professionals that can deliver a quality product every single time, okay? Ultimately, at the end of the day, guys, entrepreneurs create all the wealth in our society. And if you can approach any business, it doesn't matter whether you're selling shaved ice. I guess it's called shave ice here, right? Not shaved. Okay. Shave ice, right? Okay. Whether you're selling shave ice or whether you're selling hula skirts or whether you're selling abatement products or whether you're creating an internet company, if you can create something that's better, smarter, faster, and engages your clients in a more friendly, positive way, you will ultimately succeed. And if quality and if that whole attention to detail is your focus, money will be the result. If you focus on money to begin with, you will not get it at the end. It has to be about making your product amazing, making it great, making it wonderful, with the mind that you're going to make money along the way, and this is where your price point should be. Okay? Ultimately, look at yourselves, ask yourselves what you can do to create your own opportunity for success out there. Leverage your personal skills, your personal talents. The Lord blessed every single one of you with something amazing, and I don't know what it is. Okay? I know what mine are, and I've been able to leverage most of them. And I'm really, really grateful that I can come out here and talk to you and share something. Okay? Ultimately, thank you very much for the opportunity. And any questions? Shoot.
You mentioned being involved in the entrepreneur organization.
Yep.
Do you ever get worried about, I guess, sharing details? I mean, these are obviously individuals
Yeah.
looking for business opportunities.
That's an awesome question. Let me tell you about EO. EO is a fantastic organization. And what we have is we have a confidentiality agreement with each other. And what we do is our chapter has 63 members. We're broken down into small groups between 7 and 10 members into forums. And then in these forums, we have a confidentiality agreement with one another. We can't sell or do any business with each other. That creates a safe environment, a safe haven. And then what we do is at the beginning of every meeting, we have a confidentiality reminder that anything said within the bounds of a forum or within a forum retreat are confidential, and any breach of that can both be met, one with legal, and the other one you'll be kicked out of the forum. You'll be kicked out of the chapter. And people respect that. And you know what? Let's be real. Most of us have so much stuff going on, we don't want to go and do what you're doing. We just want to do what we're doing better. So, good question. Anyone else? Shoot.
What were those four levels one more time?
The first one is consumer confidence. Second one is integrity. Third one is pride. The fourth one is passion. Those are the 4 emotional states of the customer. If you can achieve and maintain those customers will do business with you long term regardless of price. Price becomes a secondary issue. Okay? We all, in some way, shape, or form, justify spending stupid amounts of money on certain things because that just means something to us. Okay, me, where are my sunglasses? Hand them to me. I'm a sunglass idiot, okay? I spend stupid amounts of money on sunglasses because my eyes are pretty light sensitive, and so I buy all these really crazy, expensive, intricate sunglasses. Okay, this is my frivolous thing I'll spend a lot of money on. Okay, you could probably go and buy other sunglasses that can do darn near as much for about 1/10 of what I spent on these. But we all find something that we'll leverage and spend more on because it has personal value to us. Okay, some people spend $200-300 on a pair of jeans. Good on them. Okay, I'm not one of those people. Other people will spend lots of money on shoes or whatever it may be. Other people are really big into massage, right? They go and get a massage twice a week, and I'm like, no, I don't need that, right? But anyone else? Any other questions?
Why don't you tell me a little bit about that opportunity?
Oh,
you made
yeah.
with the company?
So we kind of have a unique situation. The Salt Lake Temple is going under a major renovation right now. And we are currently hiring employees to help us work on that project. If you have a current temple recommend, and you would like to make some money, we're going to be working from the last week in June through the second week in July. I think it's going to end on like July 18th. It's basically a 3-week window. We're hiring Temple Recommend holders. We'll train them. It's a 40-hour training that they'll need to attend. Pay them $10 an hour to go to training. Then we'll equip them with all the necessary tools and gear, equipment in order to do the work. And then we will work your guts out for 3 weeks. We're going to be working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, 2 shifts. So it'll be from 6 to 6 a.m. to p.m. or p.m. to a.m. You'll be basically working 72 hours per week for 3 weeks. And if you accomplish all your shifts, you're being paid $15 an hour. I think we broke it down earlier. It's like your gross would be like $13.50 a week is how much you'd make for 3 weeks. If you work all your shifts and do a good job at the very end of it, we've got some bonuses built into the program to pay you another between $500 and $1,000 dependent upon your performance. So basically, your take home for about 4 weeks worth of work would be around $4 grand. Okay? You know anybody that wants to go and do that, has a recommend, and they're going to be in Salt Lake, we would love to hear from them. We would love them to come and help us. It's a really special, unique opportunity because you're going to not only be making some dough, but you're going to be working in the temple. Question?
You're looking mainly for guys based on physical labor?
It's really physical labor because you see these crazy carpet squares. Think about how fun it would be to rip those up by hand and rip up about 1,000 of those in a day and then pack them on your shoulder out and throw them away. And it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty physical demanding labor. And let's just be real. You know, if you can do the hardcore physical work, it's a great way to make some quick cash. Then to boot, we're also doing work. We do work in 7 or 8 different states, Hawaii being one. And we would love to utilize your talents. If you come back and go to school and we're out here doing work, we'd love to give you some work here and there. But if you have any friends or anything, here's a phone number, 801. I'll wait for you to bust out your electrical devices, right? Because we know that if it doesn't go into your phone, you're going to lose that piece of loose paper, right? You ready? The office number is 801-641, or excuse me, 801, no, that's almost my cell phone number. Don't call my cell phone. 801-936-1155. That's Eagle Environmental Incorporated. You can look us up on the web. EagleEnvironmentalInc.com is the website. Either speak to Anita. She is in charge of recruiting. Either Anita or Christian. And we would love to have some people show up. It'd be cool if you guys came out. That'd be neat. You know, we're hiring about another 30 or 40 people. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.